I'm your host, Marsha Florence with Just Ask. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is Disability Network of Wayne County, Detroit. Hurry back and join us. Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence with Just Ask. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is Disability Network of Wayne County, Detroit. And we have the executive director herself, Lori Hill Sanders. Good afternoon, Lori Hill Sanders.
Good afternoon, Marsha.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
All right, now, Lori, it's been a while since we had a chance to catch up with what's going on at Disability Network of Wayne County. So fill us in on your role and then tell me what's going on.
Okay, well, my role is of the Disability Network of Wayne County Director. I'm the executive director, and my role is just truly to provide oversight of all of our programming and our services, and when needed, be involved in providing those services for our consumers in the city of Detroit and Wayne County.
Okay, now I know that there's a lot of different branches, or should I say offices of Disability Network, but you host the Wayne County Detroit.
Yes, I am Wayne County Detroit. There is actually 13 centers for independent living in the state of Michigan. So every county within the state of Michigan is covered by a center for independent living. That's what people know us by mostly, CILS, Centers for Independent Living, which are organizations that are designed and developed by individuals with disabilities to serve individuals with disabilities. So that's a really unique caveat within itself.
Oh yes. You know, and I am honored to have you as my guest is because a lot of people who are going through, family members who are coming into disabilities of some sort, they're not sure if they can handle or know the process for getting resources for their loved ones, and your agency is one of those that help people along the way.
Yes.
So give us an example of some of the services you guys provide.
Well, as a Center for Independent Living, we all have 5 core services that we have to provide, and that's information and referral, that's peer support services, advocacy, transition, meaning community transition from a nursing home back into the community, or just a youth that's disabled transitioning from youth to adulthood, and then independent living skill development. So that's our 5 core services that we all provide. However, our different other services are really unique to the different demographics that we're in. Being in the city of Detroit, transportation is needed, a key. It's a key. Transportation is a key. Food disparities, that's very much a key. Education on benefits so that individuals, if they're receiving SSI or SSDI, knowing if they can work, being able to work to supplement their income without jeopardizing their benefits through the Social Security Administration, that's very important. And just really a lot of wellness. And we had to pivot during COVID, but as it turns out, a lot of the services that we redesigned and reconstructed during COVID, there's been such a need to continue those services because the food disparity hasn't gone anywhere. So initially we were partnering with Gardens and Forgotten Harvest and Hungry Harvest and Gleaners to provide food boxes. And now we're trying to rethink that and figure out how we can better serve with food, with the disparity of food in the community.
Excuse me. You guys, have walked the line with all types of programs, that I'm familiar with, and we're going to go over some of them. I mean, you don't even cut the corners and say, no, we can't do that. You even give it a try, and every effort that you put in allows persons with disabilities to feel comfortable in knowing that they can come to you and say, hey, I'm in need of housing, I need of clothing, I need of food, I need of transportation. And you guys have covered each and every angle to secure the residents of Detroit.
Right, and we don't stop trying. And you know, I had a meeting this morning with staff, and that was just to identify how we can do what we do better, how we can touch more individuals. You know, and I have to make sure that we're in Canton, that we're in Taylor. You know, making sure that we're providing services, because a lot of times we kind of just tune in to Detroit, but I cover 36 cities within Wayne County, and it's so important to make sure that we're touching as many of those individuals as we can.
Okay. So wherever these residents are, you say Canton, Washington, well, Wayne, or whatever, they can call.
Absolutely.
Okay, and let you know that, hey, I'm having a situation here that I need to be addressed. Okay, that's great.
Yes.
That's really great. I mean, a lot of people look at it like, you know, well, they're not in my city, they're not, you know, helping me out, but that's not true.
No, that's not true at all. There should be a center for independent living in every county of the state of Michigan. If you're not, you know, we're just here, and we cover all counties. So that help is there.
Okay, because during the pandemic, was there a big breakdown for service at that time? I mean, everybody was, you know, touched by the COVID. So, was there in our disabled population? What was the effect?
There wasn't a breakdown in services. It's just we had to do services differently during the pandemic. So we, you know, all of our services were remote services. So once we found that we were able to do things effectively remotely, we still do remote. So we kind of have a hybrid now where we do remote services and services in our offices and other facilities as well. But what we really found during COVID was that people with disabilities, the PPR supplies were detrimental in terms of them. You know, you would have individuals looking at a can of Lysol or a pack of hamburger, you know what I'm saying? Those were the challenges. So being able to assist with hand sanitizer, all the PPR supplies that were needed, we did a lot of that. We did a lot of food boxes, and we did a lot of services that involved vaccinations as well. We started with the testing. We partnered with a number of partners in the community to do testing, but now we're actually doing vaccines in our office.
Great.
So, you know, and it kind of slowed down after winter, but now, you know, we're getting into that flu season and we're starting those vaccines all over
About
again.
that time again. Okay. Well, we're going to take a break, and ladies and gentlemen, we're going to come back with some more good information about Disability Network of Wayne County, Detroit. We'll be right back.
Sorry about that. No, I've been staying at my dad's place because of everything.
Here you go. It's your favorite. It's chicken noodle.
He's good.
Oh, wait, Dad. Wait, hang on.
Yeah, I know. We keep missing each other. I've been working out of my dad's house, doing some reading. I should be working out more. I know it's important to stay healthy. It's just, I don't have the time. I just feel like I'm drowning.
Your turn.
In tough times like this, we know it can be easy to neglect your own health and well-being.
Dad, it's the girls. Oh.
What kind of dance is that?
While you care for your loved one, you also need to care for yourself.
You look good.
Go to aarp.org/caregiving for free mental health and self-help tips.
If you store your guns properly,
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
And I won't have to tell my kids, this isn't a drill.
Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Always lock it up.
This isn't a workout video. It's about how LLS has helped blood cancer patients like me thrive, and how your donation can help countless others. Please give today at lls.org.
And welcome back to the show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know some of you have pen and paper out because you need this information. And if it's not for you, it's for your loved ones, your neighbors, relatives, whatever. Write it down, share the information, share the resource, because that's what Just Ask is all about. So if you don't get the numbers off the screen or below the screen, it will be in the credit roll as well. We won't miss a drop what Lori Sanders has to give you today. So I want to go back to some more pertinent questions. Now, Lori, a lot of people say, I didn't know about this, I didn't know about that. I know you guys have a lot of programs that you are involved in. So I want to go over your Lunch and Learn.
Yes. Okay. So Lunch and Learn, that was something that we developed during COVID, during lunchtime, so that folks could virtually come on a Zoom link and get information that could be helpful. That could be about service dogs. September the 10th, we're actually having a Lunch and Learn about service dogs. A lot of people need to know about service dogs, know that their service dogs are permitted. That's a reasonable accommodation. So, you know, what we find and why the Lunch and Learns are so important, Marsha, it's all about education, because once you educate individuals, they can actually become advocates for themselves and they can be their own voice. So that's why the Lunch and Learns are so important. We have Lunch and Learns about accessibility, Lunch and Learns about benefit planning, whatever could be a tool for a person to be a support to them. We have the Lunch and Learns for that.
And a lot of people don't, you know, are not familiar with the leader dog programs. They get confused, like, oh, okay, that dog shouldn't be in the building, and they don't understand what the rights are for a person with a disability to have that dog. Okay, so your life skill development program, more or less, like we have a few of your flyers on the screen here. Tell us a little bit about that.
So what we're doing, we're having this September the 28th. It's going to be a one-day symposium, youth symposium, and it's an independent living skill development symposium. So we'll be working with individuals from the age of 14 to 24. We'll have them that whole Saturday, and what they'll be learning is emergency planning. They'll be having mobility training. They'll have independent living skill development where they'll learn how to do their washing, separating clothes, making up a bed, cleaning up an apartment. So that whole Saturday will be around independent living skill development and teaching them financial literacy, you know, how to get your Cash App started, you know, just so that they have empowerment and they're able to navigate through their community. So that's what that'll be about.
Right. It's very, very important, because this generation of young adults coming up with disabilities, they have, in my opinion, more opportunities. So why not, you know, put the blanket around them to secure that their future is fine, you know, especially when the parents are starting to age and the parents are concerned, you know, I don't know what's going to happen if I'm not here for my son. And, you know, you guys have opened up a position for these young people to learn some skills so that the parents can feel as though it's going to be okay.
And one of the key things they want to do, Marsha, they want to make sure that their child has an independent living plan. You know, that someone sits down, does an assessment to find out what barriers they may have to living independent, and it really eases a lot of the stress of a lot of aging parents of children with disabilities if they know that their child has a plan to succeed that breaks barriers so that they're able to be inclusive and have accessibility in their community.
Most definitely, and that's great. So you have a Eat and Grow. What in the world is Eat and Grow? That's got to be something with the garden.
That came out of COVID. Eat and Grow is, we've partnered again with Featherstone Garden on Lake Point. This time we have a designated area in the garden where our consumers can actually grow and then take their things home to cook and eat. So that's grow and eat.
Well, now, I need a spot in the yard. Okay. Well, you know what? And so most of our elders have always done that. You know, they've always had, you know, room somewhere in their yard or whatever. And my father was like that. My father, you know, he was a true farmer, and I used to just look at him like, really, Daddy? But I learned that the importance of growing your own fruit and vegetables mean you know how healthy you really are.
Exactly.
Okay. So, and then this also gives a feel-good feeling to people. People feel much better when they know that they have opportunity to, grow something and then turn around and enjoy it.
And one of the things, because it's fall, this is kind of the harvest time. So, reintroducing canning to people, getting those canning jars, those mason jars, and getting those things so that they have those things throughout the winter as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're taking me back in time. Okay. You're taking me back. So what is the registration process for the young students to learn about,
So on that flyer, it's an electronic link.
Okay.
So if you have the flyer, you can click on the link and you can actually register. So that flyer is actually on our website, which is www.dnwayne.org. If you go into our website, you're actually able to register for that. We expect to have over 40 youth for this youth symposium, or we're planning for 40. And that's what we're expecting, 40. And they will, it's going to be really a fun learning day of growth.
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
Will you continue, if this is
Successful, yes.
would you continue to do this to allow our youth, who are coming
The goal, Marcia, is to do, this is our pilot, and I'm really good for doing pilots. So this is the so this is the pilot, but the goal, based on what this outcome is to do this at least once a month. So we'll be doing it 12 times a year.
Great, great. And I'm going to say this, regardless if you get 40 or 20 or whatever, just knowing that the young people came out to listen and to get a head start, that is the key. I know that you have a, number that you'd like, but I would suggest that, we're going to take 1 to 100, because that means somebody is concerned about being independent, and that's what they want to do.
Exactly.
Okay? So I'll tell you what, we're going to take a break, and you heard me, ladies and gentlemen. Get those pens and paper out, take down this information, and plan to go to this symposium so that your young person will know how to be more independent when the time comes.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back.
I try to keep up with what these young people is doing and knowing.
I was at work and I just got a text from a number that I didn't know.
I sent him a text. He texts me back and say, "Who dis?" And I just thought that was the funniest thing.
The next few weeks, you just made fun of me, like would answer the door and say, "Who dis?"
Who dis?
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
It's your turn to hide now. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here I come.
If you store your guns properly,
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
And I won't have to tell my kids, this isn't a drill.
Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Always lock it up.
We asked and you answered.
We are proud to introduce to you our next recipient of Call Sam Cares.
My name is Marcia Florence. I'm the producer and host of the Just Dance Talk Show and the founder of the Just Dance Foundation. Well, the Just Dance Foundation was created to make sure that people who are in need, such as persons with disabilities and senior citizens, have an outlet that they can reach and receive services from. So we are an education and resource network that makes sure that if you are looking for a service, we can help find that service and make it much more easier for you to connect with them. So the foundation was created, and through that foundation, we produced the Just Dance Talk Show. In each show, we have our phone number at the bottom, and we get calls at 6 a.m. because we say it's a 24-hour number. So when people actually get up in the morning and they call, we answer the phones and say, Just Ask Talk Show, how can we help you?
My name is Phyllis Edwards. I am a board member with the Just Ask, and I am a partner with the Just Ask Health and Funding. The work that Just Ask does is to provide resources and connections to folks so that they can improve their quality of life. Whether it's about nutrition, mobility, exercise, and all the things that you need to really just have a quality of life, sustain your quality of life.
Well, we're on our 4th annual Health and Fun Fair, so the Just Ask Foundation decided to start to put together an event where we invite over 50 healthcare professionals to come under the umbrella at the Eastern Market.
It's an opportunity for people, for seniors and individuals with disability to come together and have just a day of fun. We don't have those opportunities, and so for people to come with their animal companions in their support services, wheelchair canes. We have resources for them. We have food. We have face painting. We have music where you can dance and sing. And so it's just a day of fun just for them to come, relax, and have a good time.
We will definitely apply this to our wonderful event, and we're so grateful because we know that all the funds that we have gotten into will support our event to make it even bigger, better, as well as, it drives the message that there are agencies and organizations that are willing to support us along the way to make sure that we continue to grow. So we're grateful, very grateful.
You're supposed to leave the world a better place than what you found it. And so just leaving it a better place in terms of resources for seniors and people with disabilities is key for me. That's my driving force.
Just knowing that people are tuning in lets me know that we're on the right path of what's needed here in Michigan.
We are honored to recognize the wonderful groups, missions, and hardworking people making a difference in our community.
Call Sam Cares is our commitment to our community. And remember, your group, event, or organization could be next.
Head over to callsam.com/cares today and fill out the submission form.
We can't wait to hear all about it.
And welcome back now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm all about that health and wellness and all about that fitness programs and all those kind of good things for our disabled and elderly population. And so our executive director from Disability Network, Wayne County, Detroit, Lori Hill Sanders, has given us a wealth of information for you to reach out to her agency and find out how to get involved. So if you see the number at the bottom of the screen, please write that down or give us a call, 1-800-323-5336, and look in the credit roll. The same information will be there in the credit roll. Now, Lori, I have come to some of your events and they have been just phenomenal. I mean, the Feather Garden, that is so nice. Mm-hmm. So you guys have some things that always are going on, and you have transportation. We didn't say anything about that. So tell us about your transportation program.
So we have transportation. This started out of COVID, and we maintained it through funding. It's a program where you can call the Disability Network 48 hours in advance of your doctor's appointment, your visit to the bank, your visit to church, anywhere, social, business, medical. It is not medical driven. It's based on what your need, because it was all based on decreasing isolation during COVID. And so we just kind of maintained it and just, it's a lot. It's a lot. We have like 4 drivers in rotation, and it's working really well.
And see, and our community needs that.
Yes.
They need to know that they don't have to say, oh, this is a medical appointment, can you take me? They need to know that they can call an agency and say, you know what, I have some tickets to go to the opera and I want to go. Can I make arrangements 24 or 48 hours before?
Exactly.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then social activities, voting, if you need to get to the voting polls. So whatever.
Yeah. And I've been to some of your picnics and events and stuff, and you have the bus full of your residents, making sure that they're having a good time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
And I really appreciate knowing that, and our people, who our viewers are, who are watching the show, they'll appreciate that too. They'll just love knowing that they can call and get assistance in going to and from wherever they need to do.
Yes.
Okay. So I have the Enhanced Fitness Program. Tell us a little bit about the Enhanced Fitness Program.
Our Enhanced Fitness Program is really an accessible fitness program where our instructor meets you at whatever your level is. So, there is no high performing, low performing. She modifies all the exercises, so whatever level you are, you're going to be able to exercise and get that fitness.
Great, great. You know, everyone needs exercise.
Yes.
Everyone. And then you have an art therapy group.
Yeah.
What is that about?
That is once a week we have art therapy, and the artist comes to our office at 7800 West Otta Drive, and she's there for an hour and a half, and we just have a space where our consumers come in and they're having art, and it's very therapeutic for them.
Okay, now is this all year long?
All year long.
Yeah, I don't want people to get cut off. They say, oh, it's about to end.
No, all
Okay.
year long.
That's great. That is really great. Because, you know, you have, as what they say, a plethora. Such a plethora. So I see, we brought up your service lineup board, peer support group, housing information, free transportation, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me, free. Dance classes?
Yes.
Okay, vaccination clinic, information and referral, community transition services, employment and job readiness services, home help and home health services, benefit planning, counseling, mobility training and safety, healthy living and wellness training. Now you can't get any better than that, Lori. I'm just, and seriously, I feel like I should went back to work, but that's a great line of resources right there. Excuse me, right there, that anybody that's got a disability should be able to say, hey, I need your help.
Right.
Okay. So that is great. That is really great, and I am so glad you came to see us today.
Of course.
Like I said, we're going to post everything up that you have, because with that art therapy, the enhancement for the young people to get an opportunity to live independently, that is an honor. That is a true honor. It takes time and commitment to pull that off, because a lot of parents are so concerned and consumed with, I don't know what's going to happen when my child becomes of age and he or she wants to live independently or should. Now, let me ask you this one question.
Yes.
Do you guys know of facilities that are embracing our disabled young adults who want to live independent? Is there housing set aside now? Because I heard it was going to be.
Let me say this, Marsha. With people with disabilities, housing is a barrier. Transportation is a barrier, and employment. Those are the three key barriers. So, it's just really important for organizations like the Disability Network to stay involved with City Council, let our voice be heard, so that when these developers are coming to the City of Detroit, they are allocating spaces for folks with disabilities, or if not, just using a universal design so that you can use it, I can use it, a person with a disability can use it, and it's not it's not causing any undue hardship for them, So just really trying to educate developers, if they're not, how many people can be served by just using universal design in their facilities or developments.
Well, after today's show, they know your take on it, and they know my take on it. So, Lori Hill Sanders, will you come back and join me again?
Of course.
Okay, don't be a stranger.
No.
Because you always got some good, look, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how many pieces of paper I have. You always have great resources, and we want to spread that news to the community.
Thank you, Marsha.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know who I am. I always tell you, always tune in to Just Ask Talk Show, because why? You're going to learn something and get some great resources. So we want to thank Lori Hill Sanders of Disability Network of Wayne County, Detroit today for being our guest. And look at the bottom of the screen as well as the credit roll. Now, I'm your host, Marsha Florence, for Just Ask, and what do I always say? If you have a question about a person with a disability or just a general question, don't be afraid to ask. Just ask. I'm your host. Thank you.